Good morning. Good morning. This is Miss JJ, Jacqueline Richardson, Deja, Jackie, whatever y'all call me. We all thankful to be alive this morning. I'll touch base on that. Alexa, please brighten up light to 100. Okay, that's better. I can see now. Alexa, what's the weather today?
Currently, in Charlotte, it's 57 degrees Fahrenheit with clear skies and sun. Today, you can expect partly sunny weather with
Good morning.
5 degrees and a low of 57 degrees.
Well, that's the weather here in Charlotte today. And I'm doing a lot better today, guys. Yesterday I was like a little tired, but I went out. Even though I said I wasn't going out, I decided to go out anyway. And I went out in the sun, and I got that God energy yesterday. Good morning. And I wanted to talk about the sun and what it does for us. The sun can be harmful just as well as helpful. Oh, geez. I'm going through it this morning, y'all. Be patient with me, please. Okay, I'm back. Y'all see me struggling. The sun can be very harmful to us, but it has a lot of benefits, and this is why we need to go outside. We can't stay stuck in the house. They had us on quarantine, and it was actually bad for us versus being good for us being on quarantine. Granted, we was on quarantine to stay away from the COVID. However, we still need the sunlight to survive. There's things that's in the sunlight that we need, our bodies need, whether people know it or not. A lot of people try to stay out the sun because they don't want to get dark or they don't want to get skin cancer, different things like that. However, we have different things that we can use to keep us from getting skin cancer. And we can also wear clothing to keep us from getting skin cancer. However, the rays of the sun is needed in our bodies, and like yesterday, I was feeling so down. I was so beat. I was just tired yesterday, and the night before. And that's because I wasn't getting my proper sun. Because y'all know I try to do almost everything natural. Some things I just can't do natural because it just won't work. You know what I mean? So then I have to go to the man-made medications. And that's like with my allergy pills. Because that's the only thing that I take, allergy medication. I try to fight that with other stuff, which I can, okay? It's just that it's a process, and that process is a little bit longer than if I would do it with the allergy pills. So if I take the allergy pills, like right now, it'll block the histamine, and I'll be good. However, I use like eucalyptus, cayenne pepper, different things like that to keep my allergies from acting up and keep my sinuses free of dander and the saline and different things like that. But when it comes to the sun, especially with women, okay, we go through a lot of depression, stress, and the sun relieves our bodies of all that excess stress, that excess energy. As I put in my song, "You Know About Me," I think it's "You Know About Me," if I'm not mistaken. I'm sorry, I can't remember, but I think it's "You Know About Me," where I say I sit on the balcony or the deck and bring the energy back. You know what I mean? For those that don't understand what I was saying, this is what I was saying. Okay, the sun gives you energy. You bring that energy back. After you drain your body, once you get some of that sun, it actually brings your energy back. Now, when you get too much sun, it can actually hurt you as well. So you got to know your limits, okay? A lot of people don't know about. I'm not going to sit here and say they don't know about God, but they don't know why God created these things in the universe. And when we speak of the universe, we speak of what is needed in the universe to keep us alive. Okay? Because before there was man-made pills, they had to live off of the earth. And this is what the people did. And this is why they lived a long time. However, the cavemen that lived in caves and only came out at night, they only lived to 35. And one day I will get into that a little bit more in depth so y'all can understand why they didn't live that long. Okay? We need these things in order to survive. Now, sunlight holds one of the biggest things that we need, and that's vitamin D. Okay, and y'all hear me talk about vitamin D a lot. I spoke about it in Mother Nature. Did I speak about it in one of my other songs? I can't remember, y'all, because I got so many songs that I wrote, and I can't remember each and every song, but I do know that I spoke about the vitamin D, and there's a lot of other people that speak about vitamin D. And if y'all notice, when we write songs, we try to put messages in there, so people can pick up on these messages. Some of us write songs just to be writing songs and trying to tell you something that you really don't want to know. But then you do have us artists out here, and it's a lot of us, that will put a message in the song so you can get some type of understanding of what they have experienced or what they know can benefit you. Like I'm going to use Travis Scott, for instance. I think it's Travis Scott. Yeah, Travis Scott. His song, his album, I think it was called Cactus Jack or something. Now, the cactus is very powerful for the body. Y'all do your research, and I'm glad he brought that out. I already knew that it had some benefits, but it had more benefits than I even realized. You know what I mean? So I'm thankful, Travis Scott, thank you for that. You know what I'm saying? Bringing that to our knowledge again. You know what I mean? With bringing it to my knowledge and bringing it to the world. So we thank you for that. We always thank those that is trying to put messages out there and help the people. You know what I mean? And help us get through anything that we go through, pretty much. Living life it can be easy, even though a lot of the newer generation say that it's hard. It's not really hard once you get the knowledge, and that's the key. Having the knowledge to get through life and understand which way you want to go. And getting back to the sun. The sun also builds our immune system. Okay? So when we go out there, and I'm thankful, like yesterday, I went to the store and I was going to run out the car, run in the store, run back in the car. And I tell you, God, he works wonders, you know what I mean? And I'm going to be honest with you. I got out the car and saw a friend of mine that I haven't seen in like 2-3 years. And guess what? That made me stand in the sun. And when I stood in the sun, okay, after I finished talking to him, which helped my stress of being tired, and then standing in the sun talking for a moment gave me more energy. So I felt blessed. I said, God put them there for a reason, because he knew I needed that sun. I needed that energy, because I was going to run out the car, run in the store, run back in the car, drive back home, run up the stairs, and that would have been that, and I would have still been tired. So when I got back, I was like, excellent. And that's why I proceeded to do some work yesterday, and it was in-house. I did stay home yesterday. It was in-house, but I was able to get some things done. And I was proud of myself, and I guess God was proud of me too, because I used his energy versus using other type of energy, and all I needed was his sun to get me back moving around, And I did have a little stress on me, and the sun helps with stress, My bones wasn't hurting yesterday, so I'm thankful for that, because I try to get enough sun so I can get my vitamin D, because I don't drink milk at all. Okay, I'm lactose intolerant. It hurts my belly really, really bad. We have a lot of people out here just like me. If I do drink milk, it will be almond milk. That's what I drink if I need to drink milk. But I just stay away from milk, period. Or coconut milk. But the doctors had put me on vitamin D right after I had my daughter, okay, Egypt. They gave me these vitamin D pills, and I had to take it once a week, because my vitamin D was very, very low. And if you don't have vitamin D, you cannot absorb calcium. Okay, so your body starts to deteriorate. And this is when people start to get like lupus. They'll start seeing their teeth deteriorating. Your bones start like being fragile, stuff like that. So I had to learn how to beat that thing, just like I beat the high blood pressure, and I don't claim these things, and I told y'all about my girlfriend April, how she was like, yo, we ain't claiming these things, you know what I mean? We're going to work to make sure we stay healthy and we don't have to worry about taking all this excess medication. Because when you take all these other medications, these excess medications that these doctors give you, you can't even go in the sunlight. So you see where it actually hurts you. So you look at the bottom of some of your medications, those that may be on an antibiotic or those that take high blood pressure medication, you're not supposed to be in direct sunlight. Okay? So it's doing the opposite of what God needs us to do for ourselves. You understand what I'm saying? So this is why you need to beat these things that's harming your body, so you don't have to take these man-made medications that tell you can't be in direct sunlight when you need direct sunlight for stress, for depression, to build your immune system, to just help you all around your bones. You understand what I'm saying? So this is why we have to beat all these other diseases that we create on ourselves. Most of the time we create them on ourselves versus it be running in our family, okay? And I've spoken to y'all about beating these generational curses. And that a lot of that is generational curses. Okay? Just like when I told y'all the other day, my mom, when I had got high blood pressure, I called my mom. And the first thing she said was, Jackie, take the medication. And I'm like, well, Mommy, I don't want this high blood pressure. She was like, there's nothing you can do about it. And it runs in your family. And I'm like, really? Now, I could have been that one to say, all right, well, let me just take this blood pressure medication, like she said, and keep doing the same negative things I was doing. I would still be on it. Okay, and that was 11 years ago. However, I took the alternative route. I prayed to God. God sent me somebody to help me get my weight off, regulate my diet again, work out every day, and I beat that thing. Okay? So this is why I'm bringing this to y'all. And the sunlight played a big part on it as well, because I used to go run in the sun. But now let me tell y'all what the sun actually can do to you. Okay? And it did this to me as well. Okay? It's going to dry you out, because when you're running in the sun, you sweat. Okay? And we know that the ozone layer has deteriorated. So we have to be careful with that as well. So you don't need to even stay in the sun that long. 5 minutes, I say 5 minutes max. I would run in the sun all day. Okay, when I say all day, meaning I would get out there and run my 6 miles, and then run 6 miles back, come home, cook, whatever, then go back out there and run another 6 miles. Okay, and this is no lie what I'm telling y'all. I did this on a daily basis, especially when I was in PA. So what it did was it dehydrated me. Okay, and I wasn't putting enough electrolytes back in my body to help my body function properly, And when you're going through things, at the time I was going through something, so I wasn't actually paying attention to my body the way I would normally pay attention to my body. And it taught me something. God had to lay me down in order for me to realize what I did wrong to my body, And I had wound up falling out. I didn't have no food in my body. I didn't have no electrolytes in my body. I was in Baltimore. Shout out to Baltimore. I love you guys. I was in Baltimore doing a give back in the communities. Me and a rapper, Top Shotter. And we was out and about. And in the sun, it was 105 degrees. And we was out in the sun, just running around. Then we came home, went to bed, woke up the next day and went out and was cleaning out in this hot sun. And I never did once think to go buy me a Gatorade or something to put some electrolytes in my body. I was so focused on what I was doing, I didn't think. And the body needs these things in order to survive. And I knew this, but I forgot. You know what I mean? I truly forgot. And these are the things that we do. We forget, and we can't forget because it'll lay you down. And I wasn't eating properly. I was eating just fruit because it was hot. I didn't really want nothing heavy on my belly because my belly started hurting. I wasn't at home, so I couldn't cook like I would normally cook for myself to eat the proper foods that I would normally eat. So I just didn't eat, and I forgot. Wound up falling out. You know what I mean? So I don't know if they didn't say I had a heat stroke, but I know something wasn't right. And when I got to the hospital, I told the doctor, I said, listen, I think I need some juice, and he was like, some juice? Yeah, that juice y'all be giving people. And he gave it to me, and I felt much better, and I've been through that in the past where I have exhausted my body and needed to go to the hospital, and they gave me some juice, and I was right back at it. But I didn't fall out, though. I didn't take it to that, that far. I was feeling sick, went to the hospital, and then they do what they do, and I get better, But yeah, the sun is a great benefit. But you just have to be cautious, okay? Excuse me. I don't want people going out standing in the sun for hours and hours, and then when they start feeling sick, like I get mad with my grandson because he'll go out there with his friends and stand in the sun. They be out there all day in the sun. I don't know how they do it. But then he'll come upstairs and he's drinking Gatorade, and he'll leave back out and come back and get more Gatorade. I'm like, stop drinking up all the Gatorades. But he stay healthy. He stay strong, So I give it to him. You know what I mean? He knew that the sun was good for him. You know what I mean? And I might have felt like it wasn't good for me because it'd be too hot. I'd be like, ooh, I can't go out there in all that heat. I'm a faint. You know what I mean? But in actuality, it's good for me. But he knew that his body was getting exhausted. I need to go get me a Gatorade. I need to go get me some water. And he will replenish his body right back. And like I said, I would be angry because them Gatorades ain't cheap. I would be angry. He'll drink a whole case of Gatorade. I go to Sam's Club and get a Gatorade case, and he done drank it all. And I'm like, oh, you got to be kidding me. Now I got to go buy more. But he needed it. You understand what I'm saying? Because he was out in the sun. And the sun helps stress and depression. So y'all just be careful, when y'all out there. Make sure that your head is covered because you're still going to get that UV rays, whether it's just your face. The sun is so strong it can go through our clothes, okay? But you don't want direct contact, and that's how people get skin cancer. So y'all got to be careful with that. It can also, like, I'm gonna tell y'all experience that I have with the sun. When I sit in the sun for a long time on my deck, on my balcony, my feet will start to swell. That's when I know that my body doesn't need any more sun. It's time to get out of the sun. So these are some of the things that happens to me. So if you notice something strange happening, it's time to get out of the sun, okay? But we need it, people. Y'all need to get out there. Not only that, it helps kill bacteria in the body. I don't know if y'all knew that. Okay, the sun also helps kill the bacteria in the body, which helps us, beat some diseases. You know what I mean? So if you have some negative bacteria in your body, you go out in the sun, it kill it. You never got the bacteria, the illness of the bacteria. So these are things to think about when you go out there in the sun. It's not just because you want to get your vitamin D or get your depression, ceased. You don't want to go out there for that. You want to go out there because you want to get all the negative toxins and bacteria deleted out your body. Okay? And that's what we have to look at, getting these bacteria out of our body, detoxing every day. And the sun is part of that detox every day, And this is why you see people go out and run in the sun. I see them every day, and I used to do it too. So, people used to call me crazy, but there's a lot of us crazy people out here. Who go out in the sun and run and get that UV rays of the sun, And it hurts your eyes too sometimes. That's why I always have on sunglasses. Y'all see me because my eyes, they be burning, So I put on the glasses with the UV in it, the protection of the UV. And get y'all something. Them things is good. Let me tell you something. I'm going to show y'all. Where are they? I got a few pair, but these particular glasses, let me go get them and I'm going to show y'all, okay, about these glasses. The frames are like shades, but they're not all dark where you can't see, okay? And it protects your eyes from the UV rays of the sun. It also protects your eyes from the lights from the cars at night. So they work wonderful. I'm going to show y'all. Okay, these right here. I get a lot of compliments on these glasses because people like the style of them, the big frame of them. They say they look like those glasses from the TV show. It was in my era. I'm trying to remember the name of it. Where the doctor, he couldn't see. He was so blind, but his glasses were so big. But anyway, a lot of people give me a lot of compliments on these glasses. But these glasses are actually UV glasses. Okay? And when you go out in the sun, it blocks the sun rays from burning your eyes. And when it turns night, you can still wear them. Like with sunglasses, you can't really wear them at night. It's really hard. You can't see, and because, it has that tint or whatever the case may be. However, you can actually see at night with these on because this is all clear. And then it has like a light tint of a blue on it, and that helps the rays of the sun. So invest in some of these, they call UV glasses. Invest in it. And you want UV glasses that can be worn day and night. Okay? Invest in it because it's going to help you. When you're out there getting your sun or driving, you need these glasses. At night, when they got these LED headlights now, I think they LED because they be burning my eyes. Excuse me, especially when I'm on a highway. And they will help you see. It's like the light is not even there when you're driving. So invest in that. Help yourself. And this is what we have to do. We can't worry about the things that the government is telling us. We have to do it ourselves. You know what I mean? Carbon monoxide. I want to talk about that a little bit. I saw a post on Instagram, where they have carbon monoxide in the foods. And, at first I was like, carbon monoxide, because when you think carbon monoxide, you think death, like, ooh, because I knew some people, I didn't personally know them, but it was a family that died from carbon monoxide poisoning in Baltimore. And when I heard that, it was like, what? Carbon monoxide in food? And I have a carbon monoxide detector in my home. Okay, and I check it on a regular basis because I don't want to be breathing in carbon monoxide and don't wake up the next day. So I was like kind of confused at first. So, I had to do my research. And I'm like, okay, well, carbon monoxide, when we barbecue, we get carbon monoxide. When we cook on the stove, especially a gas stove, we get carbon monoxide. We just can't inhale too many of the gases. Now, when I did my research, okay, I saw that it was carbon monoxide in a lot of the foods. However, the body needs carbon monoxide as well. But we don't need a lot of it. Okay? And the reason why we need it is because it kills off bacteria. It kills off bacteria in the body. Not only that, when they put the carbon monoxide on the foods, it kills the bacteria in the food. Okay? And it stays fresh a lot longer, And I had to do the research. And this is the thing, y'all. I do research on a regular basis. Sometimes I could be in this house and I can see something and that would take a whole hour out of my day because I'm researching this thing. You hear me? And I will research until I find an answer and I understand. Okay? Especially before I bring it to you guys. You know what I mean? Because I don't want y'all seeing things out there and then y'all say, okay, well, Miss JJ said eat this, Miss JJ said eat that. But then they doing this and they doing that. But I'm going to tell y'all why they doing it. Okay? They're doing it to protect us, people. Okay? Because the meat that we're getting today is all toxic. Okay? It goes through a lot of different channels. You don't know what these animals had before they killed them. You know? You don't know if they were next to another animal that had some bacteria that they could have caught, just like with us. We running around with the COVID and we catching the COVID from each other. They could catch stuff from each other as well. And then all of this meat is being sold and we're taking it in our bodies internally. So we have to think about this. And this is one of the reasons why I'm fighting myself to become a vegan. Okay, because I don't want to eat the meat. Because it comes in sometimes with bacteria that our bodies can't take. You know what I mean? So this is why we need to detox every single day. If you have a strong belief in becoming a vegan, continue to work on it. You know, I'm still working on it. You know, I grew up with meat in my life. I got off of beef and pork at age 17 due to my stomach issues. So now all I'm fighting is the chicken and the fish and the turkey. Okay, which is still hard because when you see people eating the chicken and they chewing, and you like, I want some of that chicken. And that chicken smell good. It can hurt. You know what I mean? It can hurt you mentally because you're saying to yourself, I'm trying to fight this thing, but I want to eat it. And then you go and eat it. You know, and that's just the bottom line. You know, you go eat it and then you back to square one again. Okay, the temptation, you know. And it's all, we already have a whole bunch of temptations that we're trying to fight. And then eating too, you know, it can be very stressful, you know. I mean, I be saying to myself, like, what can we eat? You know, like, are we going to be able to eat again? You know, and I was running around, like I was telling y'all in Baltimore, just eating fruits and berries that particular day. It wasn't enough for my body, and I knew it wasn't enough for my body. But I ate it, but it's getting to the point that this may be the only thing we'll be able to eat is fruits and berries. You know, and of course other vegetables, you know, things that's grown from the earth. But the world is so toxic right now, and we are putting all this toxic stuff in our bodies. This is the other thing I wanted to talk about. Rodents and roaches, bugs. Okay, they put off a lot of bacteria, people. So if you have them in your house, you know, or in your the area that you live in, like some people live in a country and they have field mice that may come through their houses, try to close up them holes because you don't know where these particular mice are going to, and they feces and they urine, you know, it's very toxic to our bodies. Very, very toxic. So toxic that it can kill us. You know what I mean? And we've been living with these things for years and years upon years and not knowing how toxic they really are. You know, when I moved to Baltimore, I learned a lot about the rodents more than I did when I was in New York. In New York, I learned that they didn't fear us, you know, because they'll come and chill out. They was thinking that they was us, I guess. You know, they would come outside and chill with us outside, you know, just sit there, you know, sit up like a cat, like they part of us, you know. I don't know if I told y'all this story. I was down in Riverside Park. It was me, my girlfriend, and shout out to Rock. He was there. I don't know if Rock is on my Instagram. I know he's on my Facebook, but Rock was there, and we were smoking. Okay, I was young. You know, we was smoking in the park, and I turned to give. Nobody was sitting next to me. I turned to give the next person. You know, when you smoking that weed, your mind be crazy, so you just do stuff that's not right. So nobody was next to me, but I was passing the blunt over to the next person. There was no next person over there, but the rat was over there sitting down like he was waiting for the blunt. I never tell y'all a lie. Big old thing. He wasn't trying to hurt me. He just was sitting there. Okay? Just sitting up on the bench like. And I'm definitely afraid of rodents. Okay? And that's one of the reasons why. Because you turn around and you see this rodent going with his nose like this and his little whiskers. And he's sitting next to you. I jumped up and started hollering and started running back. It was the funniest thing after the fact, but I was so scared, okay? So in New York, I experienced the mice and rats being there, just like they were people like us. You know, they were so comfortable with us, you know. Baltimore, I experienced more of them being disobedient, you know, when it comes to being in stores and defecating on the packages and peeing on the packages and stuff, because I was working for Frito at the time, and I would put my Cheetos and stuff up, and when I come back, my Cheetos has been eaten up, and then you could smell the smell, and you would see the feces in there, and I'd be like, oh my God. So I learned so much more about them in Baltimore, you know, and how toxic they can really be to our bodies. So these are the other things that we have to watch out for. If y'all hear me say in my song, I think as you know about me, I say I'd rather live with the wolves and the bobcats versus the rats and the roaches. Okay? And that's why, because they put off bad toxins for our bodies and bad bacteria and viruses for our bodies, you know. It may not hurt them, but it'll hurt us. So we have to be careful, and this is why we stress to clean your house. You know, if you have any holes, close them up. If your landlord don't want to do it, just invest in yourself and do it yourself. You know what I mean? And that's one thing people got to stop doing. You know, oh, my landlord should have did this and that. Do it for yourself, okay? You got to take care of you, because in the end, ain't nobody gonna take care of you, okay? And that's just the facts. You know, yeah, so like I said again, when I do songs, I always put in these songs some type of message for you guys. You know what I mean? And that's why I put it in there. You know, I can't do the rats and the roaches. You shouldn't be able to do the rats and the roaches either, okay? Because it's going to hurt your body, okay? I'd rather do the wolves and the bobcat, where I can see the wolf and the bobcat, and if I got a house, and they running past my house, if I need to, I can kill them. Get the gun, kill him. You know what I mean? Versus if he's attacking me, because I don't like to kill animals. You know what I mean? So, but when it comes to the rats and roaches, we can kill them too, but it's a process. And then you got to continue to keep your house clean. And the only thing that cleans it, gets rid of these bacteria is bleach. You know what I mean? So y'all have to be aware of these rodent feces and urines and the roaches. You know, a lot of people in New York have asthma. And one of the biggest problems is because roaches is in the city. How do we get rid of them? It's hard to get rid of them. So we have to do things to keep our areas clean to try to get rid of them. You know what I mean? And it's hard, people, but this is how it's designed, and there's nothing we can do about it. But all we can do is try to prevent it, you know, as much as we can, so we can live longer. You know, a lot of us are living longer than they lived in you know, years ago. However, we want to live longer, and things are getting worse and worse with these different bacterias and these different viruses that's coming out. All of this stuff is going in our bodies and making our bodies weak. So we have to stay strong and continue to keep ourselves healthy as possible so we can beat these things and use God's tools. You know, that's the other thing. God put a lot of tools out here for us to use. You know, y'all hear the guys say about the marijuana and stuff. Oh, well, God put marijuana on the earth for us to use. And they're right. It's a stimulant. Okay? And people use it as a stimulant. Okay? Same with tobacco. These are the things that God has created to grow in his earth. Food that's grown. You know, vegetables, potatoes, carrots, pumpkins, sweet potatoes, things that's grown from the ground, onions, all of this stuff God put here for us to eat, to survive. Okay? So utilize your fresh. Okay? And I say that, I see some people come in the market and they don't even go in the fresh area. And these are the things that we need to beat a lot of these bad toxins and bacteria that's going in our bodies. Okay? We need the fresh area. Okay? You wouldn't believe how many people I know personally that will go to the market and pass the fresh area right by. When I go to the market, which is produce, we call the fresh area. When I go to the market, I head straight for the fresh area because there's a lot of things that I have to have. Like my bell peppers, I have to have it. My onions, I have to have it. My potatoes, I crave potatoes a lot, which is vitamin K. I have to have it. My fruit. Okay, a lot of the fruit that we eat, helps build my immune system. Okay, my pineapples, my mangoes, and it builds my immune system not only for colds and stuff like that, but for cancer and other stuff. So yeah, I have to go in the fresh area. Granted, it costs more, but if you don't eat it as much, don't buy it as much, is what I'm saying that wrong, y'all. People say it costs so much. But don't buy a bunch of it at one time. Okay? Buy a little bit of it. If you don't eat it and it spoils on you. So, that's why they have the little cups, of fruit that you can go buy. Or you can get bell peppers cut up already. It's called the fajita blend. You can get that. That way you won't have green peppers or red peppers and orange peppers go bad on you because they're very, very expensive. But they're very, very healthy for us. So they've looked at why people are not buying it and try to make an easier way for the people to get this stuff so they can be able to keep themselves healthy. And they split it down to make it cheaper for you guys so y'all can say, hey, I want to get this vitamin today. I want to get this one today. Only got $10 a day to spend on fresh. And this is what I'm going to do. But you have to invest in yourself. I was talking to my son and I said, son, did you eat some fresh vegetables and stuff? Ma, that stuff is expensive. I ain't got time for that. I do the vitamins. And I'm like, son, we're trying to get away from eating, taking the man-made medications and even vitamins. And he's like, it's easy to just pop a pill. And I understand that. But fresh is always better. That's why God designed it that way. Okay? So, y'all try to invest, in yourselves. Sit down. And we're going to talk about budgeting. Maybe next week I'll talk about budgeting and how you budget with food and how you buy food to last you if you have a certain amount of money. Like some people only have maybe $50, $60 per week to eat on. You know what I mean? And how you can budget and still eat fresh. You know what I mean? And budgeting can be very hard when you're not making enough. But you have to find a way. You have to find a way to live. And that's just the bottom line, because you're doing this for you. You're investing in you. You know what I mean? Investing in your body, your soul, your health. You investing in you living long. So you have to do it. You have to find a way. Some people find it easy to go out and buy the vitamins. However, they don't know that you spent, say, $18 in vitamins. Okay, yeah, it might last for 30 days. Sometimes you have to take the vitamins twice a day. But you spent $18. So if that's all you could really afford is $18 on fresh, then utilize that. And there's ways to get around it. And I will talk to y'all about that probably next week. Okay, how you can break that down and maybe get an apple a day, a banana a day, and get those vitamins in your body each and every day naturally. This is why a lot of people drink smoothies because they want to get it in naturally versus taking a man-made pill. There's nothing wrong with taking a man-made pill because some of these pills, especially the herbs, are made from the actual um, foods. Some of it, like okay, matter of fact, I'm gonna use turmeric. Our body can have only but so much turmeric, okay? But they have turmeric pill. So my thing is, when you're taking this turmeric pill, what else is in there? We need to know. So I just don't bother with it. I just use the actual turmeric. And I know my body can only take but so much, okay? Our bodies are sensitive to stuff, and even medications, even herbs, we have to pay attention to these type of things. So this is why you need to just go naturally, so that way your body will intake what it needs and not something else that you know nothing about. Okay? And that's my biggest fear. Your body's pills, and it says that we can only have a certain amount of milligrams, but you see the pill is about this big. So what else did they put in there to cut it? I worry about stuff like that. So we'll talk about the budgeting and trying to eat healthy as possible. I would say next week we're going to talk about that. Once I go out to the market, which I do every single day, I'll go out to the market and look at some of the prices at what I will be able to get if I can spend, say, $2 a day on fresh. Okay? Because things are expensive, But if you can have an apple for, say, 60 cents, a banana for 30 cents, they do sell a little thingy with grapes in it and the little apples in the little packs. And I think there's something like $1.49, I got to go out and look. They be having the pineapple. You can get a pineapple, though, really cheap. A pineapple is $1.80. And you can actually bring that home and cut it up and eat on that all week. You know what I mean? Because once you cut it, it'll last about a week. Once the week go by, it'll be spoiled. But then you can also freeze it. So you can look at that as well. You know what I mean? You'll eat half and put the rest of it in the freezer. And pineapple is like one of the best for us. Pineapple is good for not only building our immune system, losing weight, and it has cancer. It helps beat cancer. The cells. It keeps them from growing, y'all, is what I'm trying to say. It keeps the cancer cells from growing. So pineapple is a big one, and like I said, you can get a pineapple for less than $2. And you can freeze, what you don't eat. So, and pineapple is good when it's frozen and cold, So these are the things that we have to learn to do to live. You're investing in you, and that's just the bottom line. We have to learn to invest in us. In this podcast, this is Jacqueline Richardson, Miss JJ Diamond, Jackie, Deja, whatever y'all call me. I love y'all, and I will talk to y'all tomorrow morning. Thank you. Yes, I did lose a lot of weight. I've been working for the last, I would say about a month now. I've been, trying to work out, plus go to work and doing everything else and try to watch what I've been eating, because during quarantine, I went crazy, eating all the snacks, eating up everything. And at the end of the quarantine, y'all saw me. I had this big old belly. So, yes, I did work on losing weight and constantly detoxing every day. But, yeah, I did that in a month's time. And it wasn't every day workout, y'all, because I was working and I couldn't work out, and when I come home from work, I'd be tired. However, yeah, I did lose a lot of weight. And I thank y'all for noticing. Thank y'all, because it's been very stressful for me, because I couldn't even move my body the way I like to move my body since I gained all that weight. So I'm glad that y'all noticing it, and that's a wonderful thing. And I'm gonna keep up the good work. I'm gonna keep on trying to lose this weight and get rid of this weight, because I was smaller a couple of years ago, and now since I moved to Charlotte, it's like following these people, I'm like blowing my body up, and next thing I know, I'll be on some pills and stuff. So I got to stick to my ground and stop trying to fit in, and be who I am. And I was trying to fit in with the people here, but it's just not for me. It's not for everybody. You know what I mean? And I got to stick my ground for who Miss JJ Jackie is, and I can't eat what they eat. And that's just the bottom line, because I'm the one that suffer, You die by yourself. You know what I mean? I'm not going to join in with you to die with you. You know what I mean? Quick suicide. So I'm not doing that no more. I've learned that from an experience, y'all, and I will never do it again. When I get this